logs off late from a long day's call, solving problems, juggling it all. When the day is done and the sun goes down, she trades the job for the open ground. There's hay to haul and stalls to clean, a muddy path where her soul feels seen. It's not just chores, it's something more. It's the dream she's always been working for. From suits to boots, from desk to dirt, she's proven what a dream is worth. You don't need fame, you don't need praise, just a will to give and a heart that stays. She's got spreadsheets open by morning light, with horses waiting come early night. She's not chasing gold or spotlight gleam, she's just living out her kind of dream. Long days, sore hands, and early starts, but the work she does with heart. 'Cause when you earn it with your time and sweat, you never live with one regret. So don't you wait for the perfect day. Find your fire and lead the way. You can thrive in both your worlds, wearing strength like a strand of pearls. From suits to boots, from desk to dirt, she's showing what her life is worth. Follow your heart and don't let go. You've got more fire than you know. Work hard, stay true, and see it through. Your double life might be the real you.
Hey, Pearl friends, welcome to Timeout Tuesday. I know I'm a little bit biased, but I love that song and I sing it all the time walking around. And the next song in line that I sing is the text song, and they're both just catchy, and I don't know, this one's meaningful and I connect with in every way, and I legit sing it often. Today I was working, I was sporting this dress, okay? And I get on a Zoom call, and I join with someone that I don't see very often, that I've probably connected with 2 or 3 times. And sometimes when you join a Zoom call, it's awkward. Like, it's just 2 people while you're waiting for the people to join, and you make small talk, right? So it's, how's your weather? Is it hot where you're at? I don't know, something, anything to avoid the awkward silence of really you both would rather just be working and filling up that time, right? So this gentleman says, mind you, other people are joining in this moment, he goes, I just have to compliment you. You always look so put together. You always have beautiful pearls on, and you just show up classy all the time. Mind you, what I couldn't say was, I'm so sweaty that my hair is sticking to the back of my neck, so I have pulled it all forward like this. Also, I was literally covering up this stain, still here, don't know what it is, but I'm hiding it off camera. I am like, that's really nice, thank you. I try, like, I just brush it off because I don't know how to handle a compliment anyway. And then one of my coworkers that I work with every day, every single day, pipes up and goes, she's probably wearing farm boots that are probably full of manure. And I was like, why do you have to take it to that level? And he's like, show him your boots, Jamie. And I'm like, because I didn't have boots on. He's like, show him. Stand back up and show him in the camera what you're really wearing. And it's like coworker / bossish. So you sort of like follow the rules, right? There couldn't have been a more worse time to be called out for what my top does not match my bottom than today. Because today, of all days, I had Lester's Crocs on. I slid into Lester's fuzzy, nasty, janky Crocs to slide into this meeting because it literally, I only had 8 minutes between calls and had to run out and shut off the water. So of course, I didn't have time to put on full-on boots today. No. I slid on the only thing closest to the door. Big, white, freaking Smurf, nasty Crocs. And I had to show them. And it was in that moment I was just like, should I show them that too? Should I show them that all of the things that I seem to be so put together about are just a facade, and that deep down I'm truly just a peri-menopause freaking wreck? No, I owned it. And I was like, hey, sometimes when you work from home, you got to do what you got to do. And I couldn't find my boots, which was not true. My boots were in my car. I knew where they were, but I did not want to admit that I was fully a shit show. So here we are. Just confessing all the things tonight, which is why we're going to have a cocktail. Also, I did a thing last night. I cleaned out the cup cabinet and made sure that we had all matchies. And then I found cups that I've been looking for forever that had been shoved to the back. For instance, this one. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yes, this was a Timeout Tuesday glass from way back in the day. And tonight we are reigniting its use. Also, we're having a Diet Mountain Dew and blue raspberry vodka because we can. Yes, Miss Barbara, we don't care. We do not care that I had to confess my dysfunction today to a corporate person who thought that I just looked like I had it all together. I had to ruin their image of me. We don't care. Okay. I don't know if this is going to be colored. Nope. We're going clear. Does not show. We didn't bring a spoon. We do not care. We didn't bring anything to stir with. It's fine. It's going to be totally fine. Cheers to my Pearl friends, because I know that y'all have been in similar situations. Cheers. And that is delicious. I washed my hands, okay, a while ago. It's fine. It's mine. I can own it. Okay. If I put the booze in first, I said put the booze in first and you don't need to stir. If I put the booze in first because of my ice accumulation, my ice has been sitting there for a few minutes, it'll stay down at the bottom. And then at the end of the night, I'll get this wafty, like all alcohol, if I make it that far. And this is I just do a halfway up the top, and this is where we're at. Like, we're not fancy. This is also part of the We Do Not Care Club. Speaking of We Do Not Care Club. Okay. So the lady's name is Just Being Melanie. Do you know that she was on like the New York Times and like the Today Show and all kinds of things, because so many people related, and she did such a powerful thing. I am not into women, but I have a total like admiration. I won't even call it a girl crush. I have an admiration for this woman who found herself saying it like it is, talking about how we're not mad, we're just hot, and we do not care if you're bored. We do not care, she just laid it all out there. And then she also has a way of like making you feel like it's normal to go what we're going through. I admire her. I admire her humbleness. I admire the way that she has rallied women together. And Dawn says, We Do Not Care Club member here. Yes. Okay. So funny story. I have to find a piece of paper. Okay. Oh, open up, you thing, printer, come on. If you've not seen her, she takes usually a napkin, but she makes a little sign. We do not care club. Okay. She takes a little sign like this. It's tucked into her little shirt, usually with like a paper clip or like a binder clip or something like that. She's usually got a pair of glasses on her eyes, one on her head, and one shoved into her shirt. And she just owns it. I find myself laughing at what she says, but relating, but more so going to the comments because it's outstanding. She is on YouTube and Facebook and I think TikTok. I'm gonna pull this up without sound and I'm gonna read you a few comments because it's pristine. The things that people say here, like some of her videos have 31,000 comments on them. Like you'll never get through all of it. But it if you haven't found it yet and you find yourself like wondering if you're insane or if you're losing your mind, you're not. It is the most relatable thing that I can think of. Here's one. We do not care about the 6 hairs we missed on our ankles. It's my new anklet. We do not care if you see us weeding the front garden in our pajamas with no bra. This is when we had the motivation to weed. Accurate. We do not care if you see me with the tweezers in the Aldi's parking lot or at the stoplight. True. We do not care if you hear us talking to ourselves at the grocery store. Accurate. Here's one. We do not care that we sleep in separate bedrooms. Anyone who's out there clutching their pearls and panicking about a sleep divorce doesn't understand night sweats, insomnia, the racing mind, itchy skin, and the absolute rage that is ignited by the sound of my man passing gas when he's hooked up to the world's most annoying CPAP. In order for us to get any sleep and to keep us out of jail, we need our own bedroom. It's true. We do not care if the fan is blowing on high while I try to sleep in between nightly bathroom breaks. You're cold? There's a couch somewhere. Find it. We don't care that we snore now. You've been snoring since we've been married. We do not care that I carried you for 9 months, and for a brief second, I forgot your name. I'm talking to you. Just go do what I asked. We do not care if we sing our favorite 80s songs loud and off key. We ain't singing for you. We do not care if we have to point at something because we forgot what it was called due to brain fog. Also true. I do it all the time. I forgot what the air fryer was called yesterday. I was like, the thing with the lid and the thing, and you put it in there and you push the button and then it does this 20 minutes and unless you're like, you mean the air fryer? Yes, I do. Anyway, if you find yourself needing to relate to things, by all means, please look it up. It's called Just Being Melanie. And there are funny chapters across the U.S. coming up of the We Do Not Care Club, the WDNC. And I hope that sometime I get to cross paths with this Melanie and that we can connect on some of the things. I have a story about this weekend. Sunday, after wonderful things with the RV and we had a great night. I come home and I start doing, and Lester comes home and he starts doing, and I come in the house and I'm like, I start rattling something off and I'm sweating because it's 110 outside and because, I'm just relentlessly hot. And I'm sweating, and I guess that I'm talking in a somewhat aggressive tone, or maybe it's just that I can't breathe, and I'm just being matter of fact. And Lester goes, I don't know how you can be so mad. Everything's going good. You have all these things to be grateful for, and you're so mad. And I'm like, I'm not mad. He's like, you're mad. You're yelling at me. And I'm like, I'm hot. I'm not mad. I'm just hot. And I can't catch my breath, but I'm also trying to maximize on my time. I'm just hot. He's like, I don't know why you have to act mad when you're hot. And I was like, well, now I'm mad because I'm hot. So, I think that there needs to be a men's club of the We Do Not Care Club so that they can read and understand that I'm not evil. I'm not mad. I mostly don't care. And I'm hot. I'm just hot. And I need a sign that says that. That literally says that. And it was funny because later on he walked by me and he kind of like leaned over and like started to half hug, and I could tell that he was like, do I do it? Do I not do it? Is she too hot for me to hug her? Is she asking for a hug? Like he's sort of like he's not committed to it, but he's like feeling it out. And I reached up around him and I just pulled him in and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just hot. He's like now? Now you're hot? No, not right now, not in this very instant. I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. And even when I do explain it, he's like this can't be normal. It is normal. And it's a thing that women have just covered up for years and not talked about and just dealt with. And it's probably the bulk of reason why divorces happen and why like relationships probably do crumble during these times right now. I'm just hot. Just hot. It's all gonna be fine. It's all gonna be totally fine. Oh, men are lucky though. Like, they don't have to have periods. They don't have the privilege of giving birth, but they also don't have to be pregnant for 9 months and then have all of that try to heal and the hormones that go with all of that. And Teresa, don't say that. Teresa Ligon says, Jamie, you ain't seen nothing yet. Tell Lester he hasn't seen nothing yet because I think that he's like, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. He said to me, I don't know this version of you. I don't know this. I don't know this. And I'm like, I'm just hot. It's the hot version of me. It's the version of me that like can't breathe and then I'm boiling from the inside. But yes, men don't have to go through all of these things. And they get to pee standing up. Like, how I don't want to complain and say like we drew the short stick because we truly are privileged to be able to experience, to create life, to then nourish life. Like our bodies really are amazing. Amazing. But the stuff that we have to put up with to be able to have that privilege, I feel like God has jokes sometimes. I do. I feel he's like, oh, you loved holding that little baby the second you never felt anything more powerful than when that baby was laid on your chest and or when you heard their heartbeat or felt their kick and like all of those things are like, well, I will punish you to 30 years of bleeding. And when you get towards the end of it and you think it's over, no. It's going to come back and it's going to come back for 6 weeks straight. And you're going to feel so miserably bad. And you're going to want to kill everyone. And we're going to test all the love and things that you've put into your relationships at this point in time. Yeah, why not? It's going to be fine. What I will say, though, is it proves how tough we are. And for any men that are watching, if they dare say a word, women are tough. The things that our own bodies put us through, let alone things we put up with from exterior, humans. We're tough as nails. And we can handle a lot. It's pretty remarkable, actually. the things that we're able to handle. Anyway, I don't know how we got on this path. This is not what I intended to talk about tonight, but here we are. Somebody said Jeff joined the Poor Lester Club. That's on another channel, just for the record. Oh, no. That was my teams from work. It is 7:30 at night. And whoever's working from work needs to just turn it off, because we don't work on Timeout Tuesday from 7 to at least 8, and probably not after that. That is a no-no. Joanne says, all I can say is this too shall pass. It will. And I know that. And I'm confident in it. And I'm confident in this space of what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. And that's why I have so much faith in our capabilities. And probably part of that whole, like, I was born with the whole how hard could it be gene, tie that into the things that I know that I'm physically and emotionally overcoming right now. I know that I can handle a lot. And that gives me the ability to just get through it, to find a way to laugh, to relate to things like the We Do Not Care Club. And I feel like it is a privilege to be here. And it is a privilege to be, able to find humor in it and to at least be able to acknowledge it as well. Because I'll tell you what, if you didn't know what was going on and all these things were happening, like, and didn't have the resources to be able to connect with people, I'm not sure that you wouldn't think that you were, like, I would think that I was dying for sure had I not been able to connect and realize that all of this was normal. Just saying. Anyway. Penny says it does pass and then it comes back. Don't say it. It's fine. It's going to be totally fine. We're all going to be fine. We're going to get through this together. We're going to come here. We're going to laugh about it. We're going to talk about the things we do not care about for the day, for the week, or for now. And then we're going to move on and find. That's our coping mechanism. That's how we're going to do this. There in reality, a lot of people do seek hormone therapy and all kinds of things. Personally, I can't do that. I have a history of DVT, and I also have a clotting factor in my blood, which is impacted by hormonal changes. So I am not a candidate for hormone replacement, and I will just have to find other ways to navigate it. Today's ways to navigate it were typically when I'm out refilling waters or gardening, I will just spray myself down and just soak myself. That is a coping mechanism. Another coping mechanism is I have become a fan of popsicles. Don't really discriminate on the flavor or type. Prefer ones that don't have calories so I don't feel so guilty about it, or ones that have like minimal calories, like freezer pops. Big fan of freezer pops. I pretty much live and breathe by the freezer pops. That neck fan that I have, that neck air conditioner, use that every day of my life. I'm trying to think of what other things here. I hate to admit it, I haven't been cooking a lot because for whatever reason, the time of the day and the heat from the stove sort of like set me on fire. So try not to cook a lot unless it's like the air fryer, things like that. But like actually over the stove right now, no. A lot of ice, lots of ice. Big fan of ice. And other confession is I really love a Pepsi Zero at about 2:00 in the afternoon. That is currently getting me through a lot of things. So, whatever works for you. I'm just telling you some of my like tiny little reward secrets, things like I will skip dinner and choose some ice pops, like those, the kind that has like, they like come in a sheet and you freeze the whole sheet and you rip one off. And then you cut off the top and hope that it makes it in the trash can, and that the next time you sweep up that you're not sweeping up your own popsicle mess that happened to fall behind the trash can or flew out and you were too lazy to bend over because you were hot. Those kind. But I'm making it. It's going to be fine. It's going to be totally fine. So this weekend, we brought home the RV and got to try it out on Saturday night, drove it to the JL North, and were able to spend the night at the campground that's about 20 minutes from the house and truly just like figure out the, all of its ins and outs and that type of thing. I have not been out in it since, but tomorrow will be 2 weeks from the time that I have to leave. So I told Lester today, actually he told me today, you need to start practicing driving it more. You need to start taking that to run your errands, and you need to do some things to get used to it. So I haven't heard back yet, but I did message Brienne and Stephanie and say, hey, next Wednesday afternoon, which is the first time that I have any time that would be a little bit free from work, I wanted to know if they wanted to go to a late lunch. I have not heard back yet, but I am asking about that. And then I need to run to Tractor Supply. I absolutely want to go to the jail north. I have to go get groceries, and I think I'm going to take it because I think that the only way that I'm going to feel comfortable is driving it in my normal paths and spaces to get comfortable with like how it turns and how, backing it up. That is one thing that I have not done yet, is back it up. So we're going to see. I saw someone say it's too big. Actually, it is smaller than many of the other ones that I wanted. So if you watched the very last video of us shopping at Camp Easy, there was an RV that I fell in love with. It had an outdoor grill. It had an outdoor cooler/refrigerator. It had a couch. It had a little dinette. It had a bed in the back that you could walk around. Like, it had everything. But it turns out it was 29.5 foot long. And the top was 12 foot 6 or 12 foot 8. I can't remember. I got a little bit RV confused. So this is 24.1 foot. Not bad. And it is 11 foot tall. So it is smaller. It just has a different front end than the other Class Cs that we were looking at. And I am learning. I am terrified on hills. Terrified. Feels like I'm literally going to fall off the front. So fortunately, I don't think there are any spaces between here and Illinois that have gigantic hills or anything like that. So I think that's going to be okay. This one does not have an outdoor kitchen in it whatsoever. It has storage space underneath, so I can add like a small Blackstone or something. That's what I really would like, is just like a tiny little Blackstone to be able to pull out and just cook on. So I can add that. That's no problem. And this does have a port, so I could hook it up to the side of the RV and the propane that's part of the RV as well, so I don't have to drag anything else along. As far as the cooler goes, I don't foresee myself needing a cooler. I don't plan on taking this, that was like a nice feature that it had, but we actually have one here that I could put in there should I want to, but I don't see a reason to do that because the refrigerator inside is plenty big. I'll never be staying in it to the point that I need to have like all kinds of fresh fruit and a fresh food and a fridge full of groceries. Not that I think of, not for going back and forth to Illinois. Like if Lester and I took it truly camping sometime, then maybe you would need like one of those for like your meats and things like that. But I just can't see I don't see that happening for some time. So, my thing about, wanting to learn it, is my nervousness around it is when I drive to Illinois, I will pass through Little Rock and I will pass through St. Louis to be able to get home. And when you get into Arkansas, well, when you get past the jail ranch, you take that same highway all the way up to Texarkana. So right where Texas meets Arkansas, it becomes highway. It's not truly interstate. And then all of a sudden you're driving a little bit more and it becomes interstate around Little Rock. And then it goes back to non-interstate. And I know there's two ways to go up once you get past Arkansas, and one's in Missouri and one's in Illinois, but both are very flat roads. It's 55 or 57, and I know those like the back of my hand. So I'm not sure that I have anything stressful to worry about, with the exception of getting gas, which I have not done yet, and backing up. Now it has a backup camera, so I will practice with that. And somebody says, put Eugene in the front seat for safety. I actually thought about that, but I don't know if it should be Eugene or Boy George, or if I should if I should bring just cardboard Lester, flat Lester. I don't even know if he still has flat Lester now that I sit here and think about it. But I was going to put something in the front seat to make it look like someone else is with me. It's not a horrible idea. So we'll see. The other thing is the only thing I have put in it are sheets on the bed. That's it. So I have much more work to do before these next 2 weeks, and plan on investing some time with Lester with me, but also I would like him to maybe follow me a few places and critique from the outside too, not just the inside. He's a very patient coach. He's very, like, it's not that he doesn't want me to be, it's not like that. I want him to be able to see what I'm doing, and critique me around there. He does still have flat Lester, Toby says. Well, maybe I'll be able to borrow flat Lester. Maybe I can strap flat Lester right onto Eugene's face or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. I have not named the RV yet. There are a few that everybody has suggested, and I was going to put that into a poll maybe tomorrow. Use Boy George. Eugene is creepy. We'll see. We'll see what Lester is willing to part with and how filthy they are from sitting outside at the JL North. Oh my gosh, my teams just went off again. No, we're not talking. We're done here today. So I see a lot of people are like asking a million questions. I'm going to do my best to answer all of these things. So I will always have protection with me. And I know that in crossing state lines that I can't bring certain things with me, but I will always have things that are legal that I'm able to travel with. I don't want to reveal that. I don't feel like I need to, but I'm conscious that I need to be thinking and be safe. And also I'm conscious about the way the laws change when you cross state lines. I am also conscious about, like I said, about making it seem like I'm not alone. Happy to do that. But also keep in mind, I have been traveling alone for 22 years. Whether it's in my car or in a rental car or flying in a rental car, staying in hotels alone. I legitimately have been very much traveling alone for a long time and feel like I'm suspicious enough and conscious enough to be able to call something out when it's strange. I would even go to say I'm probably hyper aware, and it has added a little bit of paranoia to me sometimes, even around here. There are many paths to be able to take. I think that I will find a path and pattern and mostly take it. I may stray off every once in a while to be able to take the long road, quote unquote, but I think I'll have some strategy around that too. So I don't intend to get in a situation that I can't get out of or anything like that. Somebody says, just remember, you're Jamie Walker and you need to close the doors. Yeah, about that. If you listen to our Sanctuary Sunday, you know that we had a little bit of an incident with the door, and I still don't think it was my fault. I don't think it was my fault at all. I think somehow that there was a ghost that went by and opened that sucker right back up, or maybe it wasn't, I don't know, maybe it wasn't hinged all the way. But I really thought that I closed that door. But I will absolutely be sure to close that door. And I learned how to lock it as well. There is only one door on the RV, so that kind of makes it safer as well. There's not like multiple entry points unless somebody's going to break out a window. And if that's the case, then holy cow, then I got a whole other things going on. And they would have to climb up and just like all kinds of crazy things. Hold on a second. Somebody says they changed laws on the concealed carry. If you have a concealed carry license, you should be fine crossing state lines with it. Just go on the website to verify. Huh. Well, Nancy, I will have to check that out and see what happens. Vanessa says, just blame menopause. I tried to. Lester would not let me. He's like, you cannot blame menopause on not remembering to close the door. I'm like, I did close the door. He's like, clearly you didn't. And the facts were only there. So I had to go with what he said because I guess I didn't. I don't know. But did you die? No, no one died. It was fine. We didn't even lose the snacks I went and bought. We lost nothing. Nothing. It's fine. Totally fine. Get a trucker's GPS version. So interesting enough, Summer, the RV place that we bought this from, even though we bought it used, it came with a package, and one of the packages was RV navigation. So you can put the height of your unit and it can tell you, and then where you're going, and it will tell you what to avoid. It's actually pretty smart. It also came with roadside assistance 24-hour. It came with a 24-hour package of like tech support. So if I can't figure something out or anything, I can just call and they'll actually be able to even FaceTime with me. So that's really important. And then, we got a really cool membership to be able to camp for free for a year as well. So kind of neat to be able to have all of those things. And those were some neat accommodations that came with it, basically. I did schedule an appointment to change the locks on the RV door. We learned that RV doors basically have all the same keys if it's a brand, so that other people would be able to potentially just have a key for the same one, and if that's their thing and what they did. So I have an appointment to have that done. And then Darla, I will not invest in a CB radio and talk with truckers. I don't want to talk to anybody. No one when I drive. I want to turn on the music and I want to embrace my karaoke time, and knowing that I'll be driving by myself. We're going to have a full-blown concert in that RV. It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait. What else? I'm reading here. I don't intend to stop at rest stops other than to maybe use the restroom in daylight time. That's the only time I use rest stops now. Rest stops have always sort of like creeped me out at the nighttime anyway. It's not really a place that I want to be. I'm not saying that they're not safe or anything like that. It just makes me uncomfortable. And for years and years, I will stop at a gas station long before I will stop at a rest area. I am excited, Lori. Excuse me. I'm very excited. I don't intend to bring the dogs with me to Illinois, and that is because my son has 2 giant dogs who I don't think would like to have any of mine present. And I don't think that any of our dogs would appreciate the 11-hour drive to go up there. And Christmas would probably be fine and handle it, but I just don't think that's fair to them either. And no, I'm not bringing Mr. Hank. He'll be all over my face. I saw today somebody posted a picture of a Great Pyrenees in the windshield of somebody's RV getting gas, and I just laughed because That would be Millie. If somehow Millie decided she was going to go in the RV with me, she would want to be directly up front to be able to see everything that is going on. And yeah. No, Miss Cat, I can't bring Ritzy. Ritzy cannot hold her bathroom that long anymore. She's getting much older, and I just think that this is her home and this is where she would rather be. So I will be able to park it in Xander's driveway. And even though it has a generator and I'm fully able to be boondocking or not hooked up to anything, he already has the right plug and power at his house. I guess the previous owners must have had an RV or something like that that was a 30 amp plug, because this RV is just a 30 amp. It's not 50. It only has one air conditioner. So that'll be nice to be able to plug in if I want to, but don't have to. The coolest part about this RV, though, is that even though it has a slide for the couch, you don't have to take it out. You don't have to open it. I can just pull up and park and be done. And it's small enough to be able to, I can run uptown. And it didn't require a huge setup or to do to be able to, take it apart or put it back together. Like, it's already as is, and we just go. So I'm pretty excited about that. I could take Terrence and give Lester a break. Y'all know that he secretly loves Terrence, right? Like, I know that he gives him a hard time, but Lester loves Terrence and Peapat, and I love them. And they're all their little personalities are coming out left and right. Even little Sam, one of my little bald eagles, loves to run up to me at the end of the day and just talk. And the girls are getting very sweet and allowing me to interact with them in ways. And I mean, like, I know y'all think I'm nuts, but I love my chickens. I love them. But I won't be taking them with me at all. People really want me to bring Flat Lester. It would be fun. You know what somebody sent me one of those maps that you like scratch off years ago, and I think we did one here of like where people were from to be able to see if we had people from all 50 states present to be able to scratch it off. I wonder if I could get Flat Lester, if I could take I don't know if I still have it. If I don't, I will find one. What if I put a new shirt on Flat Lester and it was the map of the 50 states, and we scratch off the states as we cross them, but it's Flat Lester who went, and we take Flat Lester to take pictures in the states that we go to. I think that would be really fun. It'd be great if I could take real Lester, but I know that's not always going to be possible. Yeah, I think that we'll do that. We'll make him a shirt. Let's see here. My kids are not in Chicago. They're in Southern Illinois, down by St. Louis. I can use Flat Lester to take pictures of the baby shower. That's a good idea. That way he was there in spirit, right? Karin says, take Tex with me. Miss Karin, Tex would crush my motorhome like a tin can. I don't know if y'all watched Lester's video, but I felt so bad last night. I know that a lot of people think it's like fun and games and like it's just another day, and it is just another day, but I heard things in Lester's voice last night that it's not that he was mad. He was just like, I hate to use this word. He just sounded like defeated. And what was awful is that while he's dealing with that, I had the Bucky scenario happen here. And both, like, he's messaging me and calling, and I'm trying to like get out to Bucky's, and I couldn't see him breathing. I couldn't see his ear twitch or his tail flip. I mean, nothing. There was not a sound. And then Lester calls and is like, do you know where the bug spray is? And I'm like, yeah, it should be in this drawer or here. You know, I give him the 3 spots. He's like, it's nowhere. And I'm like, okay, can I bring you some in a little bit? I need to deal with it. I need to figure out what's going on here. And that's when he told me what had happened. And I just like, I heard like he was sad and just like, it was a lot, you know, and it still is a lot. And I feel terrible because there's no controlling that. There's no controlling that. And then with the Bucky scenario, like a lot of people were really mean to me today about that. They're like, well, maybe if you weren't so busy out looking at RVs and doing all the things that you want to do for your personal gain, maybe you would pay attention to your horses. And I was like, really struggling to not respond in that way because I was like, hold on. I'm here. And I'm here and I'm present and I'm out doing more things than anyone would ever know about. And then responses to that were like, yeah, all we see is Herd and Lester sitting around anymore, or they're out doing things. They never show them actually caring for animals. Wonder if they even get fed. And I was like, the bless your heart in me was like fuming, is what I'll say. All I could think about was like, I'm out there every time it rains. When it storms, I clean their stalls. I clean their hooves. I brush them. I spray them down 3 times a day. I am out there ensuring that all of their medications and food. And I'm the one who noticed that Bucky's had these things going on. And I'm the one who's like called out, like, hey, his vision is really going and all these things are happening. I've driven his blood and his poop to the vet 4 days in a row. I have been medicating that takes like 2 hours a day because he's terrified of all the flushing of wounds that I've had to do. And then there were people that were like, all he has is a few scratches. And I had to admit that there's a wound that I can't show because YouTube will kick me off. And while it's much smaller than when it started, still there, still nasty, still draining, but we've come a long way. And I'm just like, don't do it, Jamie. Do not explode. Do not let them get your goat. But I'm just like, this person thinks because I made a happy video about something that I did that suddenly I stopped caring for anything that's here in my life. I wore white, fuzzy, nasty Crocs today with my business clothes because every minute of my day counts and matters because I'm out doing all of these things all of the time. It is easy for people to point fingers. And it was also a lot of people were like, you clickbaited us. And I'm like, okay, time out. We got to have a talk about the definition of clickbait. The title of my video is Bucky's is down and I'm terrified. Bucky's was in fact down. I was in fact terrified. And on the thumbnail, I put, I ran to him. I ran. It may not seem like I was running, but by the Darth Vader coming out of me by the time I got there, I hope that someone recognized that I was running in the Jamie fashion because I was. I'm not a sprinter by any means. I was worried. I thought Bucky's passed yesterday. Other people were like, why would you break out your video? And I was like, well, personally, I really hoped by the time I got to the well or when I even touched the gate that he would have picked his head up. And in case he didn't, I wanted to document this for the vets or for anything else that was about to come. But I'm so thrilled that by the time that I got to a foot from his face, that he picked up his head like, what? Now, I know that Bucky's is slowing down. And there's not one of us on this earth that is guaranteed tomorrow, Bucky's included. I also kept looking at the other horses going, do they not notice what's going on? I'm watching them and I'm watching Ivy and I'm watching her like, if she walks over to him and stands over him, then I know that something's really wrong. But she wasn't. So I kept thinking like, maybe my running is affecting my vision and I'm not able to see if his chest is moving up and down. I've watched that video 4 times and I can't see his chest move up and down. I'm confident that his hearing is going to, and that scares me because blind horses need that sense of hearing to be able to navigate. I started to panic when I got by the rocks and he hadn't moved. Not an ear twitch. I saw his eye halfway open. And while I've seen all of our horses do carcass time, which is like that laying flat and still, I've never seen them do it in the hot sun, particularly him. And it was very weird that I 10 minutes before that, was making a video of Carl. And in the background, I watched him walk all the way up from the front like he was going to go drink water. So the next time that I walk around the house and I see him laying down, I think, oh my God, he's had a heart attack. Because normally he'll lay flat like that at night. And they all take turns doing that. And it made me panic. And the closer I got without him moving, the more sad that I was. And when I tell you that video, as I mentioned, was all of the just in cases, but mostly hopeful that he was just going to pick up his head and all the world would be fine. And I'm so grateful that he did. There was a part of me that, like, when I got to the rocks and I'm watching him out of my eye, the camera's not even pointing at him because I'm watching for movement at that point and I'm freaked out. He's on his second round of antibiotics that I picked up today. We finished the other ones yesterday and he went straight back on them because he's not 100% well. Whatever he got into, there's behind the horse barn, there is some overgrown stuff that comes over the fence line. And I've never been too worried about it because the horses don't really go back there. But now that we've had a little bit of a lack of rain, the grass behind there is always shaded, so it's much more lush. So I've been catching the horses back there. And that is where Bucky somehow got, I'm going to use the term mangled, because it looks like he got in a fight with a bush. And one of those poked enough in there that it punctured him. And I believe that something was lodged in this hole. Could have been a seed, could have been anything. But by the time that I noticed, it was weeping. So I'm flushing it and I'm doing all the things. But I honestly, I didn't know how bad that it could get or would get. And then also how much he didn't want me to touch it. It's his blind side. So to him, it's somewhat torturous to go on that side. I have finally figured out that I can stand on his good side and put my arm over and feel it and do it as long as I'm standing on his good side. But it took me several days to figure that out. I'm not a horse genius. I'm not a horse person. We have horses that I deeply care for and do everything that I can to give them their best life. Everything. And I consulted 2 separate vets. I got the right medication and we're going through it. But I'm still worried. It's close to his head. It's the same as if they get a tooth infection and an abscess around that. It's close to their brain. Infection matters. So I'm doing my best, is what I'm saying. But just because I don't video all of the things, because some of them are not pretty, and some of them would open me up to the most horrific, I'll just call it beating. I've chosen to not share some of those details in video form. Happy to talk about them, happy to share what's going on and to tell you. But treating a blind, almost deaf horse who is scared and who feels terrible is hard. I can't pack the wound. It's too small. It is draining now. What I did today is I did have to cut Bucky's hair. The hair kept going over the wound and he will scratch that side of his head up against it. It itches, right? Like when you have something that's healing, it itches. So he'll scrape it on a tree or the side of a fence or the side of any of the buildings out here, and more gunk gets in it. And then the hair gets stuck to it because it's draining. So I had to cut his mane, which I hated, but I did. And to be able to keep that area as clear of debris as I possibly can. And it's not a fun story to tell. But my point in saying all of this is that I was worried yesterday. Antibiotics, heat, infection that's close to his head that I'm treating, but I can't, it's not like voodoo. It's nowhere near like voodoo. With voodoo, he would let me put my whole fist inside of him and treat him and do everything. Bucky's is not that same horse. Bucky's has way more disabilities that are hindering his sensory spots. So yesterday I was terrified. And I'm hopeful that we can just continue to get him better and that I can continue to earn his trust and learn ways to modify how I approach him and how I treat it and go from there. He has more scratches and things all over him than he's ever had before. And I know it's because he can't see and that he can't hear. And the herd is going places that he's not as familiar with because it's out of their routine. So some prayers for Bucky's would be outstanding, but just also know that I'm doing literally everything that I can. And if it doesn't continue to show signs of improvement, I will load him and we will go to A&M. And that's, I'm taking his temperature and I'm watching, is he eating? Is he drinking? Is he, what's his stool like? His urine output, all those things. So that is the latest and greatest on Bucky's. But one day at a time, and just because you see me stopping at an antique store or see a 10-minute video about how excited I am about an RV or going to see my son or my granddaughter coming and or going over to Morrow Hill, like I don't run an ICU. I am not watching 100% right over top, and my animals don't want me to do that either. It makes them nervous if I'm out there all of the time. But I am here and I am treating and paying attention and monitoring and doing all the things. And you can ask any horse owner in the world. Horses wake up every day and I swear they find new ways to hurt themselves or to do something dumb every day. And Bucky's has like the trifecta effect of that because he has almost no vision and almost no hearing. So there's that. In other news, Ernie seems to be doing okay. He's hot. Everybody's hot. So everybody just comes running for the hose every time we go out there, which is great. I wish that I wish that I had a way that I could train them to like have an outdoor shower. So when they were hot, they could walk up and step on a plate and water would come down on them. But I don't know how to do that. And then Edward, who's the rooster that we rehomed to Miss Pat's, is doing amazing. He's really into redheads. He loves her strawberry chicken. And Mr. David and Miss Pat send me videos and pictures about him and how he calls his girls and how he's taken ownership of them. And they listen to him instead of Miss Pat now, which is hilarious. And what's funny is we hear him in the woods. Like you can hear him next door and he and Terrence go back and forth and back and forth. And I think that he's really happy, really, really happy. So that's really awesome. So I have not seen the pond critter again. I have not taken the time to go find a trap or to do anything with that. But our pond is about a foot lower than it was last week because we just are desperate for some rain. We had a little bit this weekend, but we're so behind again. Somebody reminded me today that the Farmer's Almanac said that we were going to have a severe drought. I hope that's not the case. We're supposed to get like a half an inch this coming weekend, and then I haven't looked any further than that, but I would be happy if we could have rain maybe twice a week here. It's happening all around us. We're just in some sort of like pocket that it parts like the Red Sea on top of us. So I guess it's it is what it is. But if I had a wish, it would be for a little bit more rain here, refill the pond and keep the grass growing. But we're managing. It's the end of July and we've made it this far, so that's better than many summers. Let's see here. Hurricane season's about to activate. So Michelle, hurricane season actually started either May 1st or June 1st. And we've been very lucky so far. I do feel like, though, that hurricane season, even though officially it kicks off then, I feel like it's been getting later and later before we actually start seeing activity. Not saying that I'm asking, I am not asking for a hurricane at all. I read somewhere today, okay, I know I'm at my hour right now, but I got two things that I read about today. One, they're predicting another derecho, the straight line winds that are higher than hurricane force. That's supposed to be coming like in the next couple of days. I don't even know where they were talking about it, but when I heard it, I vividly remembered last year's straight line winds here, and when we had a derecho, whatever, however you say it. Not really looking forward to that if it's here. Or derecho. Okay, there, derecho. I don't know where that's going to be, but I read that it's coming somewhere. And then, not to get all conspiracy on you because it's not a conspiracy, it's true. Scientists have identified some object that's slowly making its way towards Earth that is 7 miles in diameter, and it is pointed at Earth. 7 miles? That's bigger than Manhattan. That's bigger than the towns that I grew up in. Significantly bigger than the towns that I grew up in. Slowly, though. They're just not sure how many years that's going to be or whatever. I haven't looked into that much further. I heard it and I was like, that's got to be a joke. It's not a joke. So, there's that. And then, if you watched my video about Saturday night driving the RV, you saw how I swear that I saw a UFO. Do you want to know how many weird things that have happened since then? 3 companies have reached out to me wanting to know if they could see the original footage of what I saw, if they could interview me about what I saw, and then sent me pictures of things to ask if it looked like X, Y, or Z. And guess what? It did. So for everybody that told me that it was a drone, yeah, it was wild. And the companies are not like little tiny fake little things. I'll just say that as well. Lester doesn't even know that. If Lester's watching, he doesn't know that that happened. I checked my email before Timeout Tuesday, and those were in there. And I was like, wait, what? I thought it was a joke. I thought it was spam. So I like look to see what the email's actually from, and I'm like, holy crap. Okay. Yeah. So more to come on that. I have no idea what it was, but I've never seen anything like it because it was like the lighting, rhythm, and pattern of the way it flashed was different, and the volume of light it produced, and it was one light. It wasn't a bunch of little lights like we have on planes or things like that. It was one light, and the way that it glowed and flashed and how cylindrical it looked was weird, and it was far away, yet it was huge, and I could see those things. And it was almost dark outside, which also made it super weird that I could see those things. And then it sort of like went up behind the clouds, but it was not like, it wasn't like plane light. I got very conscious of plane lights. I've flown for years and years and years, and I've seen them in the sky with me, and then of course plenty in my travels. But what I saw, I videoed it and I was like, that's really weird. Huh. And I didn't think anything about it after the video because, like, okay, I saw something weird. But then to start getting emails and asking me to like provide the original footage and the time and the location and wanting to ask me further questions about it, I was like, okay, Maria, don't say ET phone home, because I'm terrified of ET. Not extraterrestrial. I'm terrified of ET the character. His like wrinkly skin and like, I can't say it on here what it looks like to me, but I'm terrified of ET. So it was not the Starlink lights that Lester had seen before. It was one light. It was not a series of them. So pretty cool. Anyway, thank you all for joining me tonight on Timeout Tuesday. And I'm proud member of the We Do Not Care Club and proud that y'all have joined with me. And really grateful that we could sit here and just talk. Just have our Tuesday nights that are random and not scripted and not predicted and just talks. I wish I could ask you all back and forth questions individually, and because I feel like I'm sitting here with each and every one of you alone and just having a cocktail and talking about life. And I love that so very much. I know that Lester's going to go live tonight, and it's a very special live. And I hope that you take the time to check in on that. I can't promise you that I won't share my RV adventures that are coming up, because I want to. I want to share the preparation. I want to share the test drives. I want to share the adventure with you. And I know that not everybody wants to watch that. And I know that not everybody is into the things that I'm into. If you're here for the animals, the one thing I can tell you is that if it's an animal video, it'll be in the thumbnail, and that this channel is about life. It's about life. And I hope that you'll join me on some of these adventures, and I hope that you'll share your experiences or your opinions and your thoughts. And I love to take you with me, and I'm so blessed that you choose to come along. I hope y'all stay well. I hope you stay safe. And again, thank you for giving me the greatest gift of all, which is your time. Thank you for putting up with me in the We Do Not Care Club, for laughing with me, for loving with me, and just being a part of my life. I'm blessed to know you. Good night, y'all. I love you. Please check out Lester's live tonight. I think you're going to want to see it. Let's restart this.
Ooh. She logs off late from a long day's call, solving problems, juggling it all. When the day is done and the sun goes down, she trades the job for the open ground. There's hay to haul and stalls to clean, a muddy path where her soul feels seen. It's not just chores, it's something more. It's the dream she's always been working for. From suits to boots, from desk to dirt, she's proven what She's got spreadsheets open by morning light, with horses waiting